Happy Saturday, everybody. It's April 4th, 2026. As we were approaching the end of last year, I received a message that the shaking of the heavens and earth was going to intensify so much that the whole world was going to be in suspension. That everything was going to be in suspension, and that all of us were going to be left at the mercy of our vibration. And all this was going to happen after a large electrifying event. This battle was created by lowering our frequency. The people who are still in this energy of exploitation. Governments, organizations, and individuals who are still in this energy of exploitation. Stealing from the poor people and giving more to the rich. Taking advantage of people who are disabled. Taking advantage of young people, elderly people, taking advantage of anyone and everyone that they would consider lowly. All of those people. What's coming, and it cannot be stopped because it's happening already. What's happening right now and what's going to happen cannot be stopped, and that's why it's happening. There's going to be a sudden electrifying event that's going to put all of that to a screeching halt. There'll be no way to get away from it except through your vibration. Things are going to be rocking and rolling so violently that everyone is going to be in suspension. The only thing that can save you is your vibration. There's a reason why so many of us here in North America have seen all these severe weather seismic events happening all over the world, but they haven't really been happening all over here. Yes, they've happened in certain places in the United States and in certain places in Canada, but there's still many places in the United States especially where people are watching all these events happening on the internet and on TV, and it almost doesn't feel real. And they feel like time is just going to keep going on, and all these things are going to happen to all these poor people in Asia and poor people in Europe, and they're not going to be happening here. There's a reason why those events have not been happening here the way that they've been happening there. And it's because all of the exploitation, the mass exploitation, started here. And everything is coming back around. These seismic and severe weather events that are taking place all over the earth have been taking place there first, so that people here can see it and understand, wow. They'll finally get the clue that, wow, look what's happening to all these places that we exploited. Look what's happening now to all these places that we exploited. It's happening there first to give people here an opportunity to see it and change their ways and do something to help those people. At least express, feel, be motivated by empathy. All these things have been happening all over the world first, but not happening here as much. Because these countries that we're seeing right now who are faring the worst from these seismic events, these major seismic events and severe weather events, they just happen to be countries who were devastated by this global human exploitation trade that mostly started in North America just over 400 years ago. It's not a coincidence if you look at the countries that have been affected the most. They just happen to be countries who have experienced the most devastation from this global human exploitation trade over the past 400 years or so. So in the United States and North America, we have deliberately been put in a position where we are watching all of these things take place on the planet, where we can literally sit and watch the suffering and the devastation. And so many people are looking. We're not hearing messages come down from our governments that acknowledge that they are seeing the devastation happening in the Philippines or in Vietnam or in Myanmar or even in Alaska. Why are we not hearing messages come down? Why are we not trying harder to help people that are devastated? If you've noticed, we haven't been hearing any messages come down from the government of feeling any type of empathy for the people in the Philippines or in Vietnam or Myanmar, or the United States military has gone up on its own and helped people in Alaska. But we haven't heard any formal messages from our governments about the devastation that these people, the devastation and loss that these people have experienced. So what's going to be happening, what's coming, and it cannot be stopped, is going to be centered around the areas that are left. All the people who are watching all this devastation and human suffering going on right now, they're in a position where it's like they're spectators. It's like they're in a stadium spectating. People have their lives completely destroyed by seismic activity and severe weather. They got to see it happen because Jehovah was giving them an opportunity to express empathy and concern and actually do something with it, with the resources that we have. We have all the resources in the world to buy more weapons, but somehow whenever it comes time to help someone, there's not enough money. Jehovah allowed all of us to see it happen first, to give us an opportunity to express that we care. Because all of this started just over 400 years ago because they didn't care enough about human beings, that they thought that it was okay to turn human exploitation, trafficking, slavery into a business. And that's why we're about to see the things happen that we're about to see. That's what the Holy Spirit has been showing me for the past week and a half to 2 weeks. That is the relationship. There's a strong, sad relationship between this severe seismic and severe weather activity that we're seeing right now on our planet. The Holy Spirit wanted me to let everybody know about the strong, sad relationship between these seismic and severe weather events that are wreaking havoc on people's lives all over the planet, and how just over 400 years ago, many governments all over our world participated in a scheme to turn human trafficking, human exploitation, and slavery into a business. Well, we've had several large solar flares, coronal holes. A comet just passed through the corona of the sun as we speak. And the sun is still very active. The earth is extremely active. We've been having more and more seismic activity. It's increasing in frequency and intensity at the same time. And we've had fireballs From today on out through the rest of April, things are going to exponentially intensify. The rumbling. Things are about to start rocking and rolling so fast that everything is going to be in suspension. But we don't have to worry, because this is how Jehovah's taking care of this imbalance that we're dealing with right now on our planet. In Matthew chapter 20, verse 16, that's when Jesus foretold that the first would be last and the last would be first. It's going to feel like a time warp. It's going to feel like we're being dragged through a wormhole. But Jehovah has his hands on his people. And as long as we remain in gratitude for what he has done and what he is doing for us, we don't have to worry. We can be still, and we can be in the right vibration so that we can keep creating the best things that we can create. It's all about to happen quickly. And as you can see, this is one of the most beautiful days of the year so far. Jehovah created this day. From beginning to end, there's just going to be amazing things happening. Just be grateful for this beautiful day that we get to experience here. And enjoy the ride. Have a beautiful Saturday, everybody.